Hi, YouTube family. Auntie is here. I'm your auntie of pop culture. We start off with a hug, and I got to do it like a couple seconds longer today because someone said yesterday's hug was too short, and I was like, really? It's time for Girls and Scoop. It's not cute, not knowing, and now we're gonna know what's going to happen with Jussie Smollett. As of this moment, as we do this taping, I'm sure this is something that we'll be talking about tomorrow. He is due to be sentenced. Did he stage a hate crime against himself? He was found guilty. And today, he's getting sentenced. Will he get jail time? Will he get probation? I'm going to be very surprised if he gets any jail time. I really will. I think he'll get probation, and then he will go on and try to pick up his acting career. Was it a stunt? Did he want to gain sympathy and boost his career? This was such an awful thing, and whoever misguided him, I just hope that one day Jussie really comes forward and really be honest about this whole incident, because it's kind of like ruined his career, and it's going to be interesting if he can ever get his career back on track because of this incident. But I'm sure we're going to be talking about it tomorrow. Let's talk about all the doggone shows that are being canceled. Nick Cannon canceled after 6 months. I tried. I really tried. And I was like, The Good Dish on Fox with Dr. Oz's daughter, Daphne. It's like a cooking lifestyle show. That's getting the axe. And I'm hearing, because where there's smoke, there's fire, that The Real with Lonnie Love is getting canceled. They're talking about their salaries, the low ratings. It's going to be interesting. I think all these shows are being cleared out the way for Jennifer Hudson. Jennifer Hudson said she wanted to launch a talk show. She got a deal to launch a talk show. Now, how will she do? I just don't think of like Jennifer Hudson in the same thing as like a talk show host, Oscar winner, singer, actress, but she might fool us all. Jennifer Hudson's talk show launches this fall. Now, the people for the Nick Cannon show are blaming the Wendy show falling apart because they were hoping that she would be this great lead-in for him. Well, in most markets, like here in Philadelphia, it didn't air until like noon. Bad time because you're up against the local news. Could the success of a Wendy show had helped a Nick Cannon? They were even hoping that when the problem started with Wendy's show, that Nick would come in and take over. But his ratings were so low, there was no way they could possibly consider it. Now, Wendy Williams' brother is talking, and he's saying his sister is going to come back bigger and better than ever. And she doesn't owe anybody an explanation. So that whole thing is going to play out differently. But get ready, because the Jennifer Hudson talk show is coming, and they're getting ready. Meanwhile, you will see new episodes of Nick Cannon until May, because they did a lot of pre-taping. So this show will not go off the air. I don't think any of these immediately, but they probably won't be back on in the fall. 50 Cent, he says it's high time that Hollywood forgave Monique and give her another chance. Well, 50, you talking about it? You can give her a job in one of your shows that you got. It's making me wonder, will he? I know that Monique is still doing comedy. I think we're going to be hearing a lot from her, but will 50 Cent put her in one of the power shows? Rapper Monie Love, she's going to be featured this Sunday on Unsung. I finally caught the debut episode, and it was the musical group Soul For Real. They had this hit in the 90s called Candy Rain and Every Little Thing You Do. They really only had one album. Their egos got so out of control. They were being guided by Heavy D, but then they decided they didn't want to listen to Heavy D. They wanted to do their own thing, and they basically had one album, a lot of death, tragedy, life-taking, different circles. There's no doubt that these brothers could sing, but the egos for Soul For Real got in the way. This Sunday, it's all about Monie Love. I love her, love her, love her. In a recent interview with Joe Budden, who does a YouTube interview podcast series, he sat down and talked to Nicki Minaj. And it was really a great interview. And she admitted some things, and I was really glad. First off, Nicki admitted to getting the butt injections, and she talked about why she got butt injections. She also paid homage to Little Kim. One of my biggest problems was you can't just be like, I did it, without acknowledging who came before you. And if it wasn't for Little Kim and hardcore in the 90s, you wouldn't have had your Nicki Minaj's. Nicki took her to another level. Yes, she did. She had a good 10-year run. But I never liked that they never wanted, and this feud, I was like, there's no need for feuding. Kim opened that door. Somebody else came and took it to another level, but to hear Nicki just give homage and just a thank you to Little Kim, or just acknowledge what she had done. My light's going out. Acknowledge what she'd done, I thought was a good thing. Nicki also talked about she should be on the cover of a Vogue magazine, and she should. When you just think about the stylings, the fashions, Nicki Minaj was that innovator for that time, and she had a good 10-year run before there was another woman who came on the scene. But why couldn't a Nicki Minaj, trailblazing, ever get on the cover of Vogue magazine? Big night for Tiger Woods. He was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame, one of the greatest golfers ever. Almost died last year in that one-person car crash, but he broke down talking about his parents, and it was really good to see his teenage daughter giving him a nice speech before his induction. Sometimes you got to stay in your lane. Kim Kardashian, she gave an interview where she said the people are lazy and they need to get their asses to work. Kim, you were born wealthy. You were born wealthy. Yes, you work hard on your image and your products but you're a little out of touch with reality, because no one's going to listen to you about getting back to work and just saying that people are lazy. And meanwhile, Kim's boyfriend, Pete Davidson, I hear he's going to be giving a show. It's, Larry David's Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's going to be like a younger version of a Curb Your Enthusiasm, Pete Davidson and his, I guess, unique life and unique perspective on life. Zoe Kravitz, starring in The Batman, she is hosting Saturday Night Live this weekend. Someone pointed out when I talked about The Batman that I didn't talk about Colin Farrell as the Penguin. Wait a minute. I didn't even know that was him. This is how good this makeup was. I didn't even know it was him. But Colin Farrell plays the Penguin, and now HBO Max is giving him a series based on the Penguin and the Penguin's misadventures. It's coming to HBO Max, so that's a real good look for Colin Farrell. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Black Adam is coming this October. It was supposed to come this summer, but now it's coming this October. He's got the DC Super Pets coming out this summer with Kevin Hart. Bridgerton. It's all about Bridgerton. They're talking about parties. It's come back to Netflix, March 25th. They're talking about the parties, people taking off of work. It's just going to be Bridgerton. And the actor, and everybody's already in love with Anthony and Kate. If you watch the new trailer that dropped, it is something about Bridgerton, and every season they're going to focus on a new couple. Well, the actor that plays Anthony Bridgerton is so incredibly good looking, and they're saying it's going to be just as steamy. I told you guys it's all about the gays, but the Bridgerton excitement is in the air, and it's coming back. Netflix on March 25th. New podcast up, Patty and the Millennials. It's a podcast that I do with millennials and Gen X. I'm a baby boomer, men and women, and we talk about people that we need in our lives. Think about a person that you may have needed at some point in your life. I think we all need that cut-up buddy that we can just laugh and giggle with. I think we all need a person that's kind of like spiritual to keep us on the straight and narrow, or when we go left, they kind of like pull us back in. I know for me, many years ago, my mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, And I just threw myself into learning everything about this terrible disease. And there was a local news anchor who became a spokesperson, and she taught me so much. Orion Reed, she taught me everything that I, in turn, was able to help other people. Just really understanding the disease, the offshoots of the disease, the treatments, the patients, just everything. And I'll be forever grateful. Sometimes you need a person who can pour that nugget into your life. I think it's always important because you never know at what point in your life that you'll need them. SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio Podcasts, and SoundCloud. Did I say Spotify, Pandora? Yeah, that's where we live. And that's where you can find us. It is Good Conversation, the podcast, Patty and the Millennials. This is the part I got to make you laugh. Y'all know I love y'all because you guys will snatch up somebody before me. Some guy wrote that I gave too much feel-good comments. I was like, huh? Some people are miserable. And before I could say, this channel ain't for you, go look at somebody else. Y'all had lit up the comments, and I thought that was so funny. This ain't for everybody. But if you like your laughs and giggles and some good common sense and some scoop and some curls, you came to the right place. But when that guy said that, it was like, why are people so miserable? Why? Don't come over here because you ain't going to bring us down. We're not miserable over here. We here for the scoops and the giggles. We all right, as they say. We all right. Leave a comment. Auntie does read the comments. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. On Fridays, we do the weekend edition, LaShawn and Simon. That's the fancy one with the picture. So you've got that as we go into the weekend, but it's not cute, not knowing. Now we know. Tomorrow we're going to talk about Jussie. Thanks for joining me. I'm Patty Jackson. I am your auntie of pop culture.